Now, back in that earlier course when we were configuring our remote access server, you may have recalled our machine here, our Windows 8.1 computer, that we connected up with a VPN, a traditional VPN connection, and then we also connected up with a direct access connection as well. And in fact, you can see here, this machine is currently out on that simulated internet environment where it's connected up, and it's also connected up through our workspace connection or our workplace connection here through direct access. This configuration also allows us to connect through a traditional VPN as well, here remote1.company.pri, where if I hit the connect button, you'll notice that our direct access connection eventually drops off, and then we reconnect with that traditional VPN. It's both of these configurations that got us through to the very end of that earlier course. But as I said, we've got to do some rearranging here in order to make this just a bit more secure. And so let's flip back over here to our machine Remote 1, which, as you can see, is the computer that's attached up to both the internet, or our simulated internet, as well as over on the other side to our intranet on the local area network. Here we have the different networks that have been connected. The ones we're interested in, or will be interested in for the rest of this demonstration, are our other network, the 193.169 network, and then the server net here, 192.168. It's these two that we'll then connect with this machine once we flush out all the configuration and revert it back into a work group from its current location here in company.pri. What I want to show you here first, before we go about removing anything, is back here in our remote access services. We can take a look here in the remote access management console at the configuration that we essentially want to flush. I show you this because if you ever end up screwing something up and you just can't figure out why your remote access server isn't working, if you come up here under Direct Access and VPN, you'll notice here in the upper right the abilities to remove the configuration settings. Now, this is, for the most part, an irrevocable decision. There are some ways in which you can export out your VPN profiles and later import them back in. But for the most part, I just want to show you this because this is the way that we'll actually go through removing these configuration settings and then starting everything over from scratch. Now, here in just a second, I'm going to hit this button, remove the configuration settings. I'm also going to actually remove this machine from the Active Directory domain, but you've already seen all that, so there's no need for you to see how a machine comes out of the AD domain. So once we get to the next clip here in just a second, you can assume that this machine is now in a much better configuration to support an actual production deployment out into the real world.